Of all books to decide upon, I thank you for choosing Darkroom Dreamer. I wrote Darkroom Dreamer over 3 months during the recession, thinking to myself, what could a photographer be? Well, a photographer could be a private investigator, work for a news agency's I-team, photograph models, work for newspapers, etc. Perhaps they even started in high school. So I took all these ideas and created a story around them. Most of it is my imagination, but much of it parallels my own experiences as well. Which is better, fiction or nonfiction? Hopefully you'll wait until the end of this book to answer that question. Here's the nonfiction. Like the protagonist, I really did patent a flash wallet, and later, the LOC contested and I lost. I really do walk everywhere I go, in the heat, in the sleet, in the rain and the snow, when it's hot and when it's cold. I've walked through blizzards and nor'easters. Like the main character, I really do get stopped by police coming from or going to work. I really did trademark the name credited to the band in the book, but had to abandon it when the people in the band refused to show up, answer or return calls, and generally take it seriously. But the explanation given by the lead singer is word for word what I had in mind. I really did work at a bar that stands in for the city diner, where I wore 7 different hats at a rate of $7 per hour. And my boss did make statements like, "This is a transitional job. Can you believe how many people we had working here last year?" And not to me, but to a bad waitress, "I'll mail you your final check." The character Rose was given her name because in high school I gave a girl 2 roses. The city is called The City to appeal to a wider audience. You may be there right now, or going there tonight. Wherever you live, you know where the city is. If you live in Walla Walla, the city is Seattle. If you live in Pahrump, the city is Las Vegas. Where is it where you live? Say it out loud right now. I remember reading about how 2 comic book creators used their tax refunds to print up their comic book idea, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles became very successful for them. Using this as motivation some years later, I used my tax refund to print up a number of copies of Darkroom Dreamer. The pink cover is meant to be the sky through the clouds at sunset. Then I wanted to use the rest of my refund to make sure that there was a copy in at least one library in every state in the United States. I sent 1 copy to the library at Anchorage, Alaska, Wasilla, Alaska, Huntsville, Alabama, Harrison, Arkansas, Cottonwood, Arizona, Bakersfield, California, Chatsworth, California, Downey, California, Grand Hills, California, Harbor City, California, Hollywood, California, La Jolla, California, Northridge, California, North Hills, California, North Hollywood, California, Pacific Palisades, California, Pacoima, California, Panorama City, California, Playa Vista, California, Pointer Ranch, California, Rosita, California, Riverside, California, Redding, California, San Isidro, California, Sherman Oaks, California, San Pedro, California, Studio City, California, Sun Valley, California, Tarzana, California, Tujunga, California, Van Nuys, California, Venice, California, Wilmington, California, Fillmore, Connecticut, Newark, Delaware, Littleton, Colorado, Brandon, Florida, Clearwater, Florida, Delray Beach, Florida, Dunedin, Florida, Hialeah, Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, Lady Lake, Florida, Pensacola, Florida, Panama City Beach, Florida, Riverview, Florida, St. Augustine, Florida, St. Petersburg, Florida, Sarasota, Florida, Tampa, Florida, Venice, Florida, Eva Beach, Hawaii, Hilo, Hawaii, Honolulu, Hawaii, Kailea Kona, Hawaii, Kamuela, Hawaii, Pearl City, Hawaii, Wahiawa, Hawaii, Waipahu, Hawaii, Atlantic, Iowa, Caldwell, Idaho, Bellwood, Illinois, Highland Park, Illinois, Anderson, Indiana, Dodge City, Kansas, Somerset, Kentucky, Manville, Louisiana, Attleboro, Massachusetts, Jopa, Maryland, Farmington, Maine, Battle Creek, Michigan, Monette, Missouri, Inver Grove Heights, Minnesota, Vardaman, Mississippi, Helena, Montana, Charlotte, North Carolina, Dickinson, North Dakota, Derry, New Hampshire, Bloomington, New Jersey, Hobbs, New Mexico, Las Vegas, Nevada, Deer Park, New York, New York, New York, White Plains, New York, Ashland, Ohio, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, Eugene, Oregon, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Cranston, Rhode Island, Charleston, South Carolina, Huron, South Dakota, Franklin, Tennessee, Elgin, Texas, Broadway, Virginia, Grafton, Vermont, Brandon, Wisconsin, Nitro, West Virginia, and Green River, Wyoming. There are 2 libraries in Woodlands Hills, California, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Silmer, California, and Aiea, Hawaii, that I sent Darkroom Dreamer to. There are 6 libraries in Miami, Florida, 7 libraries in San Diego, California, and 41 libraries in Los Angeles, California that I sent copies of Darkroom Dreamer to. I also sent 1 copy of Darkroom Dreamer to the United States Territory in Mangalao, Guam. I also got on a bike and rode 20 miles and back, dropping off a copy of Darkroom Dreamer at the library in each of the 5 towns. I waited some time and then checked a number of these library catalogs online, and when I couldn't find Darkroom Dreamer available for checkout, I had to arrive at the conclusion that either it was thrown out or put into the library's book sale. However, on May 29, 2012, I received a letter from the good people at Elgin Public Library in Elgin, Texas. It was a thank you card, and it said, "Dear Jesse, thank you for the donated book, Darkroom Dreamer. We will have it on the shelf to check out in a couple of weeks." If you're reading this, thank you, Sandy. You were the only one who made this effort, and I deeply appreciate it. Later that year, I entered the first annual Writer's Digest Self-Published Book Awards. I didn't win, but I did get myself a critique of my work. Darkroom Dreamer was entered into the mainstream literary fiction category. Books were evaluated on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 meaning needs improvement and 5 meaning outstanding. Structure and organization were given a 2. Grammar was given a 4. Production and cover design were given a 2. Plot was given a 3. Character development was given a 3. The judge wrote, "The novel has much to recommend it. The voice is engaging and ironic. The plot is compelling. The main character is likable and sympathetic, and his supporting cast is colorful and well-drawn. But the story gets off to a very slow start. The first chapter is all narrative and backstory. Even once the action begins, the novel suffers from a lack of fully imagined and dramatized scenes. You have a strong voice, which is great, but you are relying too much on that voice, to the detriment of the action." I thought that was a fair review. Will you agree with the judge by the time you finish Darkroom Dreamer? I wanted to share this feedback with people, so I took to the literary community of Amazon, on the boards, sharing what Writer's Digest had to say. What I thought would be a great discussion turned out to be anything but. I could not imagine the hate mail that I would receive from people there, accusing me of self-promoting and spam, with threats to report me and further threatening to get me kicked off Amazon altogether. I went to work for the next few months, working my day job, walking to and from work and trying to get Darkroom Dreamer to sell when I had any free time. No sales or honorable mentions were happening for the book, in digital or as the result of libraries in print. Months later in the winter, Amazon offered me what I took to believe an option that would allow people to read Darkroom Dreamer for free. So instead of the low price I set it at, I could now offer the book completely for free. I worked hard on Darkroom Dreamer, from idea to completion, including promotion, but nothing at all was working. Having just gotten off work, which in and of itself I work hard at, both getting to and from there, and the labor I put in daily, I thought about it. I accepted it, first inside and then accepting their offer to allow Darkroom Dreamer for free. I felt a calm come over me as I thought about all of those people who paid over $100 for their Kindles. Now at no extra cost, they'd have Darkroom Dreamer to read. I went to the Amazon message boards and told the people how Amazon offered me what I believed was a chance to offer Darkroom Dreamer for free to read to Kindle owners, and I accepted, hoping they would enjoy. A smile came over my face as I made peace with it. And then, as I was about to leave to walk home, the first piece of hate mail came in. The accuser said I was spamming and self-promoting, and he was going to report me, and here I was doing something nice for people, giving away my work, which I put time and money into, standing to receive no compensation whatsoever, and I start getting attacked. The first time, months ago, I ignored it. This time, I let the guy have it. In doing so, however, that guy left the boards and 60 people spent the next 3 hours sparring with me, and I went up against them all. Finally, I logged out and walked home. It was probably 40 degrees outside, but I was so full of adrenaline that all I could do was feel heat. After going to work the next day, I logged back in after completing my shift. One person asked the community why they were engaging with this guy. I'll never forget the answer that was posted. Because it's fun to watch the spittle fly. It spoke volumes, and with that, I not only withdrew the free offering, I took the book down entirely. Years have passed. In that time, I remember reading about a woman who is a Kindle best-selling author, and she doesn't even write her own books. She contracts them out at pennies per page. She said her goal was to keep the machine going, and that she had a goal of $10,000 in earnings per month, and she hit it. Yet there's no backlash from the community on her. I've also read that a very famous author does the same thing, which is why he's been able to produce so many titles per year. Yet still no backlash for him, and his sales keep coming in as other people write his books. Some years have gone by now, and I decided to relist Darkroom Dreamer for sale with this author's note to explain everything to you, the reader, the journey so far. So which do you prefer, fiction or nonfiction? So far you've heard the true story, and what follows is the fiction, Darkroom Dreamer. Please wait to decide when you finish the book. Perhaps in the end, you'll decide that a good story has a little bit of both. Also, stick around for the bonus story provided to you at the end. Thank you for reading. I hope you enjoy.